Hello, we are back. In our previous videos, we talked about tips on how to get 9 in writing. We even saw Sir Brian come up with a writing task on the spot, both task 1 and task 2. At the same time, there's this video where we focused on the common mistakes. 90 videos on YouTube, and still we haven't had an entry talking about the top 5 most common topics in IELTS writing. So, what are these top 5 most common topics, Sir Brian?
First, we have people.
For this criterion, obviously it's very general, right? So, under that criterion, there's culture, there's society. If you see words like individuals, community, society, all of them are under the general category of people. So, what would you like to recommend, Sir Brian, to our candidates if they want to perhaps improve their responses if ever the main topic is related to people and society?
These questions are very relatable because they're pertinent to your personal life. However, sometimes because they're so close to you, you tend to write more of the personal experiences that are based on the things that you have actually gone through. And writing very personal experiences is not really necessarily bad, but that's not going to get you a 9 or even an 8 in the test. You have to use more global examples. So you have to read up on different topics that pertain to the humanity of people, like the things that are happening, social problems, current events. Try to research about them because they're going to help you tremendously in answering these questions. How about the second most common topic, sir?
The second most common topic, and I assure you this comes out every month, education. So that's the main topic. But under education, you might expect to encounter words related to school, university, library, museum, sometimes even arts or exhibits, teachers. So for education, we recommend that our reviewees read up on what, like journals or editorial pages or columns, especially the ones contributed by seasoned writers.
Yeah.
Notice the kind of language in the editorial section. It's formal, right? And that's also the tone that we expect in IELTS writing. That's why if you want to improve your answers, your responses for the second most common topic, education, as early as now, why don't you browse materials, let's say, on award winning broadsheets, not the tabloids, please. Okay? Because we want to make sure that you are writing with substance in writing. Now, what about the third most common topic in IELTS writing? It's
Environment, sir? Yeah, so the environment is actually a very common area of interest in IELTS writing. So you might want to read up on the things, the phenomena that are happening around the globe. For example, we have global warming, we have pollution, waste management problems, or the lack of clean water in certain areas. These are some questions that come out in the test. And I understand that not everybody is interested when it comes to these kinds of topics, especially if they're not very tangible. They're not part of their lived experiences. They have probably not experienced, for example, global warming in their place, or pollution levels are very low in certain areas, so they don't actually have a problem with that. But they're global questions and global topics that are very important when you're writing an international test like the IELTS. So you read up on them as well, you research about them, and perhaps you might want to research using scholarly articles like research studies, the more recent ones instead of the older ones, because information about the environment is ever changing as the world is moving towards a more developed and progressive world. There are more problems that become imminent in our society and also the environment.
so that's number three.
Three.
Now let's move on to number four. Another common topic in the examination, technology. So under technology, don't forget the three letters I, C, and T. So one is information. Where do you usually get information? It could be television, radio, newspaper, internet, social media. Letter C, communication. So it might pertain to mobile phones, landline, snail mail, email. And number 3, transportation. Under transportation, you might also encounter questions that are related to traveling. So don't forget I, C, and T. Now, for our 5th most common topic in the examination, it might not be as common as the first 3 or first 4. It's just that it also comes out. And so, what's the 5th topic? It's government. So, the government usually comes out in IELTS writing. So, there are times when there are rules and regulations or laws, let's say the lawmakers, all of these are under the main topic of government. Now, one thing I want to clarify, it's not as if the question is exclusively for environment. Sometimes you might encounter hybrid questions.
Correct.
So, something that combines environment and government,
Yeah.
or something that combines education and people and society. But
Correct.
one thing's for sure, if you prepare for the examination and you fill your head with a lot of ideas related to these 5 that we've mentioned, we guarantee you can come up with an informative essay in the actual examination. So don't forget those 5 topics, because if you're going to prepare for them, rest assured you have the arsenal or the weaponry not just to pass but also to ace the examination. Thanks for watching this video, and please don't forget to click the subscribe button.